As we know, students, there are different types of organisms living on this planet, and these living organisms are quite enormous in number and highly diversified in their character. So let's have some recap of our previous video. As for our discussion in our last video, Carolus Linnaeus is the father of classification, and he discovered the two kingdom classification, according to which the living world is divided into kingdom Animalia and kingdom Plantae. But due to some demerits, later on a scientist known as R.H. Whittaker in 1969 proposed the five kingdom classification. And as I said in our last video, the five kingdom classification is the kingdom Monera, the kingdom Protista, Fungi, Animalia and Plantae. So, the five kingdom system of Whittaker is based on some common features or characters. The first one is the complexity of cell, complexity of body organization, mode of nutrition, lifestyle and phylogenetic relationship, among which the first three we will discuss one by one. The first one is the complexity of body organization. So the first type of cell is the prokaryotic cell, where they have no nuclear membrane, and also they do not have the well-developed cell organelles. You can see here there is no nuclear membrane present over here. The chromosome is freely floating. The second type of cell is the eukaryotic cell, where they have well-developed organelles along with a prominent nucleus. The second feature is the complexity of organism's body. So the earliest organism were unicellular organisms. Later on, the complex multicellular organisms had evolved from the unicellular organisms. The third feature is the mode of nutrition. That is, they may either be autotrophic or may be heterotrophic in nature. So let us start the kingdom Monera in today's video. This represents the earliest group of organisms which are unicellular prokaryotes and mainly contains bacteria. A single drop of water is estimated to contain 50 billion bacteria. So let us first discuss the occurrence of the bacteria. So they may live single or they may live in a group. Okay, these organisms usually live in a moist environment and mainly found in hot spring, in ice, deep ocean, desert, as well as in the body of different organisms. But do not worry, they are not so harmful. So bacteria are also capable to survive in hardest condition. Now let us discuss about its structure. As I said, bacteria are unicellular organism and they are also prokaryotic. So about that in details we will see. So here you can see they are unicellular prokaryotic organism. Unicellular means single cell. Okay, and what do you mean by prokaryotic? As I said, prokaryotic is derived from two words. One is pro and another is karyon. So what do you mean by pro? Pro means primitive or earlier. Okay, before also we can write. And karyon means membrane bound. Okay, or we can say that membrane bound nucleus. So bacteria do not have a well defined nucleus. That's why they are known as prokaryotic organisms. You can see here the chromosomes are freely floating in the cytoplasm. It is not bounded with a nuclear membrane. So bacteria are generally, the size of the bacteria is generally ranging from 0.5 to 4 microns in diameter. So let's discuss about its structure in detail. As I said, they are prokaryote. That's why they do not have a nuclear membrane. You can see here the chromosome is there in the cytoplasm without the nuclear membrane. Like this chromosome we can call it as nucleoid. They also have a cell wall. Okay, they have a cell membrane and a cell wall. Over the cell wall, they have a smooth cover known as capsid or capsule. That capsule protects the bacterial body from external environment. That's why they can live in hardest condition. So there is also a flagellum present in the bacterial wall, okay, which helps them to move, or they can move from one place to another place. They have number of small ribosomes scattered in the cytoplasm. You can see here, this is a mode of reproduction in bacteria, but need not to read about this. You will have this in your higher class. So if we will talk about its structure, again I am repeating, it has a nucleoid, that means a chromosome without the covering of nuclear membrane, a flagellum, okay, a cell wall, some small ribosomes, and you can see here plasmid DNA. Do not think about this, later on we will discuss. So now let's talk about its nutrition. So they may undergo autotrophic or heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In autotrophic mode of nutrition, they may be photosynthetic or chemosynthetic. In photosynthetic, they prepare their food in light. In chemosynthetic, they prepare their food in presence of some chemicals. In heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they may be saprophytes, means they obtain their nutrients from the dead and decaying matter and are known as decomposers. They may also parasitic in nature, that is, they live on other organisms' body, causing them damage. Okay, sometimes they are useful and sometimes they are harmful. You can see some example also here, need not to remember. These are the harmful bacteria. So how see the bacteria, they are moving by the help of their flagella. Now come to the shape of bacteria. Okay, there are different kinds of bacteria or varieties of bacteria present all over our nature. Okay, so we can identify them depending upon their shapes. So this is the first shape of bacteria, which is spiral in shape. We can call them cocci. The second is rod shaped. We can call them bacilli. The third is the comma shaped bacteria. We can call them as vibrious or vibrio. And the fourth one is spiral shaped bacteria, or else we can call them as spirilla or spirulum. Okay, these are the different shapes of the bacteria. Some more topics we will discuss in our next video. So students, as we have discussed in our today's video that there are varieties of plants and animals present all over the world, and to study them we need to classify them, or we need to group them into different categories. And already we have discussed about 2 kingdom classification and 5 kingdom classification. So that all things I think you all are get clear about that now. And in our today's video we have started the first kingdom of the 5 kingdom classification, that is the kingdom Monera. Okay, so what all we have discussed about kingdom Monera? As I said, kingdom Monera includes all kinds of bacteria, or else we can say that bacteria are the sole members of kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera includes all bacteria in it. Okay, and already we have discussed about the structure of a bacteria. So in simple way, what we can say a bacteria? It is a unicellular prokaryotic organism. Unicellular means they are always single celled, and prokaryotic means, pro means primitive or before, means they are the earliest organism present in the living world. Okay, so they are the primitive single celled organisms. And if you will go about the structure of the bacteria, then we can say that a bacteria have a well defined cell wall with cell membrane, and just above the cell wall they have capsules. Okay, and that capsules protect them from the harsh condition, as we have discussed in the occurrence part. They may live in desert, they may live in deep ocean, they may live in hot spring, they may live in ice. So during the adverse conditions, the capsule or the capsid helps them to protect their internal organs or to protect their body. They also have a flagella for their movement, for their locomotion. Locomotion means movement from one place to another place. And they also have a non-nuclear or non-nuclear membrane bound
chromosome. Okay, that kind of chromosome we call it as what? Nucleoid. Means a chromosome which is freely floating on the cytoplasm without any nuclear membrane. That's why they are prokaryote, or we can call them prokaryotic organisms. Okay, and they also have small ribosomes scattered over their cytoplasm. Okay, this is all about the structure. We have also discussed about its nutrition. It may also have autotrophic mode of nutrition, or they may have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In autotrophic mode of nutrition, they can prepare their food by their own. We can also take an example of blue-green algae. Blue-green algae is a kind of bacteria, or else we can also call them as a cyanobacteria. Okay, they are the kind of bacteria which can prepare their food by their own. So in autotroph, it is not given in your book, it is just an additional information to you. In autotrophic bacteria, they may be photoautotrophic. Photoautotrophic means they will use the, or they will utilize the sunlight to prepare their food. Or they may be chemoautotrophs. What do you mean by chemoautotrophs? They will utilize the chemicals present inside their surrounding, and they will prepare their food. Okay, this is all about autotrophic bacteria. If they are heterotrophs, means they may be saprophytes or they may be parasites. Means if they will grow on dead and decaying matter, then we call them as saprophyte. If they will grow inside the organism, and at the same time, if they will harm the organism, then we can call them as what? Parasitic bacteria. We'll learn about this detail in other classes. Okay, so this is all about nutrition. And also, as I said, if we will take a single drop of water, we can find 5 billion of bacteria present inside a single drop of water. So we need to classify the 5 billion bacteria at a time. That's why again we have divided the bacteria according to their shapes. Okay, so according to their shapes, bacteria can be of spherical shape, or it may be rod shaped, or it may be comma shaped, or it may be spiral shaped. By that we have named also that bacteria. So already we have discussed, you can refer the video. Okay, so this is the summary of our today's video. And in our next video we will talk about some useful bacteria. There are some bacteria which we are using in our day-to-day life, but you don't know about that bacteria. Isn't it interesting? Bacteria helps us in our day-to-day life. And we will also discuss some harmful bacteria which harms different organisms, and we will complete the part Monera. Okay, so this is all about our today's class. In our next class we will go for the useful and harmful bacteria. Thank you.